I am still a huge introvert, which is weird to think considering I'm on Twitch the whole time and I'm doing dailies and Q&As and all that stuff. If you ever meet me in person, I'm much quieter. I don't talk very much in person. I'm not very comfortable in crowds or in like public environments. I tend to be much more reserved in those environments. So for me, there's a few things that tend to help me a little bit. One is just keeping in mind that, like, for me, one of the big things, especially when I was younger, was that feeling of if I say something, if I do something, I'm going to embarrass myself. And that's what people are going to remember is the stupid thing I said or the stupid thing I did. And it doesn't have to be like a huge thing, like tripping down the stairs or something like that. But I'll say something, and let's say the common thing is you say a joke and no one laughs kind of thing. Is that, oh, I made a fool of myself. One of the common things to keep in mind is for everyone here, try to remember something embarrassing that someone else did. Just like, not like a big embarrassment, just like a small embarrassment thing. Something they said that, oh, a joke that didn't make you laugh and that was it. We move on. Most people can't really remember anything specific. It's hard to think of like, wait, what did this random person that I know a little bit of, did they say something that didn't quite make me laugh? Don't remember. Now try to remember something that you did that embarrassed you. Most likely you're going to have a whole laundry list of things. I know I definitely do. Of just things that I like, you'll wake up in the middle of the night and go, oh my God, I embarrassed myself so bad. It's very easy for us to, as humans, to see the things that we do as this horrible, embarrassing faux pas, this thing that we're going to be remembered for, and that's the thing that everyone's going to like pin us on. But from an outside perspective, we almost never remember what other people do that's super embarrassing unless it's like horribly embarrassing. And even then, it tends to fade away. So I know this is kind of a weird tangent here, but when I keep that in mind, it helps me at least a little bit to know that like, I wouldn't judge someone. If they said a joke that wasn't that funny, I'm not going to like pin it on them and like, oh, you said that like 5 years later. Remember that joke you said? No, it doesn't matter. And why would anyone else do that to me? It's just kind of, we're putting too much importance on these things. Now it's hard to get over. It's just how the brain works. But at least for me, that helped a lot. And it took a while afterwards to kind of get over that. The other thing is, how to put this? It's similar to what I did with video reference, is try to have fun with it. And that's easier said than done. So what I mean by having fun with it is, when I used to shoot reference, I tried to do everything perfectly. I tried to always like shoot the reference perfectly. Everything had to be perfect. The lighting had to be perfect. Everything had to be perfect. And it was not a fun thing to do. What I started doing was, or to make it more fun for me, is I just started being a goof. Like, one of the things I would do whenever I would start shooting reference is I would set up my camera here. I would walk to to the place that I was going to shoot reference, and I would just do a stupid little dance, like just walk around and doopy doopy doo, and just like sing a little stupid ditty song, just like a doopy doopy doo kind of thing, walking through, and just like be silly. And that little thing of just giving myself that freedom to just not be serious helped me when I started doing my reference, because it's like, yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. I should be having fun with this. And I kind of do that a little bit when I go out now, not in the sense that I'll do a little dance in front of everyone. No, but I try to just put myself in that mentality of, I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be the center of attention. I don't have to be like the big, like telling jokes and telling stories all the time. I can just sit in a corner and enjoy myself, and that's fine. As long as I'm having fun and just enjoying myself in my own way. So I don't think that really helps, honestly. That's things that help me and kind of my mentality, but it's finding those things that help you. And it's okay to be an introvert. A lot of people are introverts. I know a lot of animators who are very much introverts. So don't feel like you have to change that. It's just finding that comfort where you can. And if you need to take a break from people, that's okay. If you're working in a studio, as long as, like, let's say they take a break for a meeting or something, it's okay to go to the washroom and just like sit in the quiet for a little bit in the bathroom for a little bit, or in a corner somewhere, and just like take a little break, take a breather away from all the noise, and then come back in once you've refreshed that battery, that internal battery, that social battery. So yeah. And the thing is, if it's an animation company, you'll probably have things in common with people. Like, that's the thing with Animation Mentor that I really loved, is when I was a baker, I had nothing to talk to people about. Cameron and I would talk to people about cartoons, and everyone would go, "You watch cartoons?" And we would go, "Oh, but have you seen the new How to Train Your Dragon?" And they go, "But isn't that for kids?" There's no one to talk to about that. The same thing with, like, even just recently, like Cameron and I got our hair trimmed, just a little trim to get rid of the split ends. And as we were sitting talking to the hairdresser, like, she asked, "Oh, what do you do?" And we went, "Oh, we're animators." And "What's that?" "Oh, we work on cartoons." "Oh, yeah, I used to watch cartoons." And like there was no conversation there. They had no idea what animation was. They didn't care about animation. So there was nothing to talk about there. And that's how it was like our whole lives before. We would talk to people at the bakery and no one would care about this stuff. The first day at Animation Mentor, I remember very clearly, and I've told this story before, the very first day and the very first Q&A that we had, Cameron and I were just sitting in the Q&A waiting for it to start. And someone randomly asked, "What was your favorite cartoon growing up?" And then everyone just started like going, DuckTales, Darkwing Duck, Gargoyles, SpongeBob. And everyone's like suddenly talking about their favorite cartoons and sharing their favorite episodes. And like the whole room was just like geeking out about cartoons. And if you're working at an animation studio, it's going to be similar. It's not going to be like everyone likes the same things automatically, but you're going to be in an environment of people that are similar to you versus an environment that is, what would be the right word? You could be the individual, the only one who likes this kind of thing. So it makes a huge difference there. At least for me, it just makes it much more enjoyable because you already have a little bit of common ground versus like when I was at the bakery, the only common ground we had was that we worked at the bakery. And most people didn't want to talk about working at the bakery because they worked at the bakery all day. So, yeah, I hope that helps a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, and Fatima, I never thought about it that way, but it's true. Most people don't remember other people's embarrassing moments. Yeah, it's very true, and it's kind of weird because, like, as I'm trying to think about it, like, I'm trying to remember embarrassing moments that I've done. That comes up very easily. Other people, especially people that I don't really know that well, or like I just met once, no memory comes to mind. Family members, maybe a little bit. People I'm close to, but aside from that, no. Even coworkers that I've worked with for years, nope, not really any super strong memories of any embarrassing things they said or did. When I think about the things I did, oh boy, it's just a flood of memories. People won't remember it. So don't put too much stress on trying to be perfect. So let me catch up here. A similar thing happened to me. I thought I was introverted until I was put in a position retail at first where I had to interact with people a lot. Then I realized that I actually got a lot of energy from people and I'm more on the extroverted side of the spectrum. Yeah, it's the weird thing, especially if you're in an environment that works well for you. I tend to be extroverted, like on camera and on streams and in Q&As. And Backtrack, thank you so much for this. Or Blaze, geez, thank you so much for the gift. And Backtrack, welcome to the subs. Thank you so much, Blaze. I really appreciate that. What was I saying? I'm too easily distracted. Yeah, you will find that sometimes you're extroverted in certain cases, introverted in others. Like, as soon as I'm in public, I have a very hard time breaking out of that shell. It's just, I second guess myself. My brain does not want to come up with things to say. I can't think of a topic. Like, the tangents we go on here, we could go on a tangent for hours. In real life, I have a very hard time just thinking of one thing to say. And it's just the way my brain works. Let's see. I feel like a high percentage of animators are introverts. So if you're meeting new people, chances are some of them are as well. Yeah. Let's see. It's weird for me because I actually really enjoy being around people. So technically that would make me an extrovert. But I'm also really shy, especially with people I don't really know. Yeah, it's that spectrum of introvert, extrovert. It's so broad and there's no one like unifier. You're just this or that. There's this range. And some people, like you mentioned, are energized by being around people but don't participate. Other people want the quiet. Other people love the noise. Other people love the interaction and that social challenge of that talking to people. So yeah, it's interesting, and you shouldn't feel bad about being any of that because that's just people. Everyone is different. Even if you do remember someone's embarrassing moment, it's not the first thing you think about when you think about them. That doesn't define them, even though for them it feels like it does. Exactly. That's a very good way of putting it. And Peter, hey! Happy early birthday! That's awesome. Happy birthday. Let's see. I'm still an introvert, but I've come to learn more or lean towards more the middle as years go by. It really depends on who I'm with. Yeah, exactly. It changes with who you're with, who you can talk to, and a lot of times it's also the topic. Sometimes I'll talk to someone, and if we're on a topic that I'm not comfortable with or like I don't know that well, I have a hard time thinking of anything to say or even just to have like a conversation. It's very hard for me. You go on a topic that I know something about, like animation or baking or something, and suddenly I kind of break out of that introvert shell a little bit. As soon as you put me on camera, then yeah, the topics just flow out in a weird, horrible tsunami of tangents.